What's up, gangos? Today I want to talk about excuses. I don't know. I feel like I've talked about this before, but the more I talk about it, I feel like it's such a foreign concept to me because I'm trying to stay away from making excuses and just having them all be reasons for me to change or whatever. And then you interact with more and more people. Everybody's not on this self-improvement journey where they're trying to better themselves and make their life better and have the highest probability of success or whatever that means to them. And so when you talk to more and more people, you'll realize how often people use excuses, and it just boggles my mind fucking excuses they make because it pisses me off so much. If you make excuses, you're retarded. I'm be honest, when I think back to all the excuses I used to make back in the day for whatever it was, it doesn't matter what you want in life. There's a way for you to do it given that other people have done it, and especially if you know how it's supposed to happen, you make an excuse, you're actually retarded. And how to go talk to yourself, right? Talk to yourself about the things that you want and ask yourself, why don't you have those things, right? And everything that's in between you and the said goal is all excuses and bullshit, right? And in theory, you can get over all these excuses and bullshit. If there's some logical, I feel like anything that's a logical excuse can be a reason. If it's a reason, then it's okay, fine. But if it's if it's an emotional excuse, then it's just a bullshit excuse and you're retarded. And for this, I'll explain it this way, right? If you are, say you're fat or whatever, right? And you want to lose weight, you want to go to the gym, but you can't physically walk. You're in a wheelchair, your arm is broken, something of that nature. There's an actual reason why you can't go. Then that's a valid excuse, right? It's a valid reason. I would even call it excuse. If it's a valid excuse, it's a good reason, okay? And if it's some bullshit, same thing, same person wants to go to the gym, lose weight, whatever, and they know what they have to, all they have to do is go to the gym for a certain amount of time, and they say stupid shit oh, I don't know what to eat, oh, I don't know what to wear, oh, I don't know what machines to use. It's are you retarded? Do you even know what the fuck you're saying? I don't know what to wear. Have you ever been to gym class? Ever? In school, a mandatory class that we've all been through, even if you didn't know and you wore the wrong thing, who's gonna tell you that you're wearing the wrong thing? The machines you don't know how to use. You think everybody goes to the gym and goes, oh yeah, I know how to use every machine in here? No, you go, you know how to walk, so you can use a treadmill. You know how to climb stairs, so you can use a Stairmaster. There's gonna be other people at the gym, so if you really want to use the weights, you can copy whatever they're doing. Every machine has labels, so you can use them just by following a diagram, as you have probably done in some life before. And what was the other one I said? I don't know what to eat. Bro, we have the fucking internet where there's chefs and recipes all over there. You can even look up anything and you'll figure out what to cook. And it's why are you worried about your diet when you haven't even stepped foot in the gym yet? And it's these are three valid excuses that people will so often use. And you're now that I probably explained it to you, you're probably you know what, he's kind of right. How if you used that excuse before, I hope you've changed, and I hope you realize how dumb and retarded it sounded, especially the way I just explained it to you. And there's so many of this in every single endeavor in life, right? I just use the gym because it's the most easy and obvious one, and it's people will be another one people will use is this one's come more on the extreme side, but I feel it's still valid because if you do research, and you I read upon these things. So it's people that are depressed. If you've been depressed for a prolonged period of time and you weren't able to get out of it, you obviously need to be on medication. And if your idea is well, I don't want to be dependent on medication, I completely agree with you. But if you haven't been able to get out of it yourself, you don't think you need assisted help, you don't think you need a little bit of boost or whatever, and it's you are so focused on the idea of being dependent, which is probably not even your idea. You probably read it from somewhere, whatever, right? You probably got influenced by someone else who said that. But the whole point of medication isn't to be on it forever. You're supposed to be on medication enough for you to fix your life. And however long that takes you, stay on the medication, get that little boost, and then get off of it. And then see if you can maintain what you fixed. So if you were depressed and you had no job and you were overweight and you had no friends and you didn't go to the gym, whatever, right? Get on the medication for 6 months or something like that, right? You're going to be dependent on it for 6 months, whatever. Not whatever, it's you needed that, you need that little head start, you need that little boost, or else you would are you going to live the rest of your life for the next 40-50 years depressed, not being able to do any of these things? It's you're going to become, you're just going to go extinct. You're not going to have anything to you, your name, your life, anything, right? So let's just say, like, for you to compare 6 months to 40 years is like such an easy comparison. It's like, why wouldn't you risk 1/80th of your life for whatever progress you can make, right? So you go on for 6 months, you start going to the gym, you get a job, you make some friends, whatever, and then you get off of it, slowly wean off of it, and you realize, okay, you know what? I just have to maintain my friends, I have to maintain the gym, I have to maintain the job, and you'll realize, like, oh, like, I just needed a little bit of a boost to get me, like, out of my slump. Once I'm out of the slump, it wasn't that hard to, like, maintain whatever I had built up. And again, that's more on the extreme side, but it makes sense. It's logical. And the more you talk to people, and the more you realize how much excuse they can just blurt out, it's like you start cringing at every excuse that's not logical. And that's why, like, all these psychology books and every, like, self-improvement book really emphasizes the idea of think rationally, think logically, and make that, like, your North Star. Like, everything that you do should be logical and reasonable. And I feel like this is a little bit, again, let's go on to, like, the more little bit of extreme side. This might be, like, controversial, whatever, but it's like, I feel like the reason men are are in more higher roles or presidential roles is because they are able to tap into their logical side more often than not. And men, in comparison to women are a lot more emotional. So if you're more emotional, you lack a little bit of logic, and guys are on the other side, so they are more on the logical side, so they lack emotion. So in spaces where, like, you need empathy or whatever, men aren't as good, but women are. But in places where decisions need to be made and important information is being spread upon or whatever, you need to be more logical on that side. And so it's so often that women will be like, oh, why aren't there women in presidential spots? It's like, you guys are too emotional. And it's like, it's not that it's impossible, because women are running and there's women who are presidents or, like, in very high CEO positions or whatever in other companies. It's just a majority of women are not like that, and it's because they're more emotional than logical. So back to the original point, it's like, if you are a man and you don't want to be the type of guy who makes bullshit excuses and doesn't want to be retarded and doesn't want to be like a hermit with no success in life or whatever that may be to you, make it that you formulate and conform your mind to the most logical version it can be, which means removing emotion at all costs, right? And of course, you'll need emotion in some things. Don't become emotionless where you're like if you've ever been on ashwagandha, you'll know what it's like to be emotionless. It's not a good life to live, right? Nonetheless, if you want a majority of things to be logical, right? And you need to conform your mind to being rational at most times. And I think that's just the best way to win in life, because once you're logical, excuses don't make sense anymore. And then it just, like, once the excuses are out the way, it's just you and the goal. And it's like all these little, the way I think about it is like, say the goal is like the finish line, and this is you, like a sprinter, and like, all those little hurdles that they jump over, those are all the bullshit excuses, and you can easily get over them as long as you work your mind through them. Like, oh, I don't know what to wear is one hurdle. Like, okay, I'll just wear sweats and a t-shirt. I don't know what to eat. Okay, I'll just eat like Chipotle because I know other healthy people eat that. And then it's like, I don't know what machines to use. Okay, I'll just copy one person that I know on the internet, or I'll go read a diagram. It's like all those little hurdles are easily solvable. You just need to jump over them and you'll get to the finish line. And that's what it is. So once you get rid of all those hurdles, once you thought through them, once you solve them, now it's just where you are to the finish line, and the only thing that's left is the time to transpire in between. And different things take different amount of time. You're not gonna lose 30 pounds in a week. You're not gonna become a millionaire in a year. You're not gonna have like the best girlfriend ever after like 2 weeks of searching. Like, I don't know, right? But time needs to transpire, and the best way for time to transpire is for you to have no excuses or no hurdles in the way, and then you can smoothly go from where you are to the finish line. And the finish line is obviously the success that you want, just by getting like your mind over the stupid excuses that you're making. And like I said, if you tell other people this, a majority of them will be like, oh, you don't understand, your life is different, genetics. Like, they find even you can tell them that they're making excuses, and they'll make excuses about making excuses, and that's when you know that they're actually lost. Like, and those are people you don't want to surround yourself with. Avoid them at all costs. Avoid giving them advice. Keep to yourself. Find people that are like-minded as you, who aren't making excuses, who are logical in what they do, and I'm telling you, you will succeed, because it's literally impossible not to succeed if you have no excuses, because then it's just you, time, and the goal. That's it. It's just have the right inputs, and you'll get the outcome you want. That's it. We're all gonna fucking win, I'm telling you.